When I first moved in with my children, I believed it was the best decision for everyone. I thought, why wouldn't it be? They love me, I love them, and this is what families do, right? It felt like the natural thing to do as I got older. At first, everything went well. There were shared meals, family movie nights, and the joy of being surrounded by my loved ones. But over time, something began to shift. It wasn't dramatic, but little by little, I started noticing changes, both in the way I lived and in the way I felt about myself. One day, I caught myself waiting for permission to do something simple like take a walk around the block. That's when it hit me. I was no longer in control of my own life. It wasn't intentional on anyone's part, but it happened nonetheless. Today, I want to talk about this unspoken reality. For many seniors, moving in with adult children feels like the safest and most loving option. But beneath the surface, it can quietly chip away at the very essence of who we are, our independence. Let's start with why so many of us make this decision. For most of us, the idea of living with our children is rooted in love, practicality, and tradition. It seems like a win-win. We get companionship, save money, and have someone around to help if we fall ill. In fact, across many cultures, multi-generational living is seen as the norm. In countries like India, Japan, and Italy, families often live under one roof, sharing responsibilities and staying closely knit. This setup can work beautifully when there are clearly defined roles and mutual respect. But in Western societies, where independence is often prized above all else, these arrangements can feel more challenging. We've spent decades building our lives, making our own choices, and carving out our identities. Moving into someone else's home, no matter how much we love them, can feel like giving up a part of ourselves. Independence isn't just about living alone. It's about having control over your daily life. What you eat, when you sleep, how you spend your time. I didn't notice the loss of autonomy at first. It started with small things. My daughter took over the grocery shopping, deciding what was best for me to eat. My son asked me to avoid driving because it made him nervous. Family activities were planned without consulting me, and I felt obligated to go along to avoid being seen as difficult. Each decision felt minor on its own, but together they added up to a life where my voice mattered less and less. When you live in someone else's home, your sense of privacy changes. Even if you have your own room, the rest of the house is shared space. I remember one morning when I stayed in my room longer than usual. My grandson knocked on the door and said, "Grandma, are you okay? You've been in here all morning." He was just being sweet, but it reminded me that my actions were always under observation. Privacy isn't just about having a space to yourself. It's about feeling free to be yourself. When you live with family, there's a constant awareness of being part of someone else's household, and it's hard not to feel like a guest. The emotional impact of losing independence is often overlooked. At first, you might brush off the little frustrations, like when someone moves your belongings or makes decisions for you. But over time, these small moments can lead to deeper feelings of sadness, resentment, and even depression. I remember sitting in the kitchen one evening after everyone else had gone to bed. The house was quiet, but my mind wasn't. I felt trapped, not physically, but emotionally. I couldn't shake the feeling that I was no longer living my own life, and I know I'm not alone in this. Studies show that seniors who maintain their independence often have better mental health and longer lifespans. Independence isn't just a luxury, it's essential to our well-being. Living with your children changes the parent-child relationship. When you're under the same roof, the dynamic often shifts in ways you might not expect. Your children may start making decisions on your behalf. Out of love, yes, but also out of a sense of responsibility. They want to protect you, but their well-meaning actions can sometimes feel patronizing. For example, my daughter once rearranged my medications without telling me. She thought it would make things easier for me, but it left me feeling disoriented and helpless. It was a reminder that I was no longer fully in charge of my own care. Before moving in with family, it's worth exploring other options. 1. Downsizing. Many seniors find that moving to a smaller home or apartment allows them to maintain their independence while simplifying their lives. A smaller space is easier to manage, and it can free up resources for hobbies, travel, or other pursuits. 2. Independent living communities. These communities are designed for seniors who value autonomy but also appreciate having a built-in social network. They offer a balance of privacy and community, with access to activities and amenities. 3. In-home support services. From meal delivery to housekeeping, there are countless services available to help seniors age in place. These options allow you to stay in your own home while receiving the support you need. 4. Proximity. Without sharing a roof. Living close to your children, perhaps in the same neighborhood or building, can provide the best of both worlds. You'll have your own space, but still be nearby for visits and emergencies. If you do decide to live with your children, here are some strategies to protect your independence. Set clear boundaries. Have an open conversation about expectations, privacy, and decision-making. Make sure everyone understands their roles. Stay active. Keep up with your hobbies, join local groups, and find ways to engage with the community outside the home. Control your finances. Maintain your own bank account and manage your expenses independently. Use technology to stay connected. Tools like video calls, online shopping, and smart home devices can help you maintain autonomy. Communicate regularly. Share your feelings with your family. Let them know when you need more space or when their actions are unintentionally overstepping. Over the years, I've come across so many inspiring stories of seniors who've faced the challenge of maintaining their independence and found creative solutions. These stories remind us that independence doesn't have a single definition. It's deeply personal and unique to each individual. Take Margaret, for example. She had lived with her daughter for 3 years after her husband passed away. At first, she appreciated the help with cooking and the constant company, but soon she started feeling like a shadow of her former self. It wasn't just about the big things, she told me. It was the little ways I felt invisible, like when they rearranged the living room and didn't ask for my input, or when my granddaughter borrowed my favorite sweater without telling me. Margaret decided to make a change. She found a cozy apartment just a block away from her daughter's home. This gave her the freedom to decorate and organize her space just the way she liked. "I still see my daughter and grandkids all the time," she said. "But now, when I walk into my home, I feel like it's mine. That feeling is priceless." Then there's Harold, a retired teacher in his late 70s. After a fall left him unable to live completely alone, he moved in with his son's family. But instead of feeling like a burden, Harold made it a point to contribute. "I started tutoring the neighborhood kids in math," he said. "It gave me a purpose and kept me sharp. Plus, it meant I had something that was mine, my own little routine, separate from the household." Harold's story is a powerful example of how finding a personal project or passion can help you maintain a sense of identity, even in a shared living situation. These stories, and so many others, highlight an important truth. Independence isn't about being alone. It's about having the freedom to live in a way that feels authentic and fulfilling. One of the greatest gifts you can give yourself as you age is a strong, supportive community. Independence doesn't mean isolation. It means building a network of people and resources that empower you to live life on your terms. When I think about community, I think about Clara. She's an 80-year-old widow who lives in an independent living community. I wasn't sure about moving here at first, she admitted. I thought I'd feel lonely or out of place, but it's been the best decision I've ever made. Clara spends her mornings gardening with her neighbors and her afternoons attending painting classes. She's formed friendships with people who share her interests and stage of life. We look out for each other, she said. It's like having a family, but without the pressure of living under the same roof. Community doesn't always mean moving to a new place, though. For some, it's about deepening the connections they already have. This was the case for David, who stayed in his family home but joined a local senior center. Every Tuesday I play cards with a group of friends, he shared. It's the highlight of my week. We laugh, we share stories, and it reminds me that I'm still part of something bigger. Technology can also play a big role in building and maintaining community. From video calls with distant friends to online book clubs and social media groups, there are countless ways to stay connected in today's digital age, but the most important thing is to take the first step. Whether it's attending a local event, joining a class, or simply reaching out to an old friend, building a community is one of the most powerful ways to maintain your independence and enrich your life. In the end, independence doesn't mean going it alone. It means surrounding yourself with people and opportunities that make you feel supported, valued, and alive. Moving in with your children is a deeply personal decision, and there's no one-size-fits-all answer. The key is to approach it thoughtfully, with a clear understanding of what you're gaining and what you might be giving up. Your independence is a treasure. It's the foundation of a life well lived, and it's worth fighting for. If this message resonates with you, share it with someone who might need to hear it. And if you've faced similar challenges, please leave a comment below. Your story could inspire others to find their own path to independence. Together, we can create a community that celebrates wisdom, resilience, and the strength to live life on our own terms.